Hey guys, welcome back to Dynasty Football Live. We're coming to you post-draft here with our first round Dynasty mock draft. I'm so excited, man. If you guys got to watch the draft with us on live stream, we had a blast. I know that I went through the roof on our first couple picks. Super excited to get with you guys here on our first round mock draft. You know, these are for the landing spots, baby. This is what we do it for. So, with that being said, as always, I'm Byron. This is my co-host Manny. And Manny, where are we going today with the 1-1?
All right, I guess I'll get started. I wasn't sure who was starting here, but I will. Well, I think I really wish I had this pick in my dynasty league. I think obviously with landing spots, things are going to change from our previous first round, maybe. So really, there's not much to say. This person is lane spot proof. We're going with Bijan Robinson. I think Atlanta runs the ball extremely well. They ran the ball extremely well last year. I don't think it really was a reach, in my opinion. I think that it wasn't really a need, but when you have a chance to get a generational player like this, and you're really, really good at running the ball, why not get another weapon? Maybe they'll run it, 200 times with Bijan and 200 times with Algier. We'll see. Anyways, that's my pick for the 1.1.
Got it, man. Bijan's, our consensus 1-1, and I think he was bulletproof coming in, and he's still bulletproof. So, good pick there for the Falcons. Not so hot if you're a Tyler Algier owner, but
I apologize for you,
man. The NFL.
I'm sorry, man.
I know.
No, that happened to me last year too, actually, with Carter and Brees Hall. So I know your pain.
Yeah,
I know your pain.
It's a sad world we live in these days with dynasty running backs. But hey, guys, we still want you to know Tyler Algier does have value. Don't be scared to hold him. Don't be scared to put him in there in your roster. Injuries do happen, and he's still going to get his touches. So.
And Carter before the injury did play, so it's not like he, obviously Brees and Robinson are different guys, but they're definitely the top running backs in their class. So, I think I agree with you. They do hold value.
Absolutely. Guys, don't sell low on Algier just because they drafted Robinson. Anyways, we're moving on to our 2-2 here. This was a very hard pick for me. I really had it down to JSN and Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm going to go with my heart and still stay with the running back because if you don't get your running back in this class, you will probably be overpaying or over purchasing one later on down the line. They are not cheap. They are very hard to get once they do break out. So with that being said, the Lions did ship off DeAndre Swift to the Eagles, and it is a two-headed race there with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm taking the Detroit Lions' new Alvin Kamara and Jahmyr Gibbs. So we like this pick. I like this pick, and if I had the 2-2 this year, I would definitely still stay with Jahmyr Gibbs.
I completely agree. I think at first, when if you watched our reaction, we were like confused, not sure what to do. Maybe it was a reach. Obviously, I think it was a first round talent. I had him mocked to the Chargers if they were to have traded Eckler. So for me, them shipping off, what's his name? Jeez, Swift. Shipping up DeAndre Swift really solidified this pick. So I think he's going to get a bunch of carries, a bunch of catches. He's going to be the workhorse. So yeah, great pick at the 1.2. For me, I have to go with JSN with the next pick. Even though I think obviously he's going to be sort of the kind of second to third wide receiver option. We'll see. Lockett's sort of towards the end of his career. Let's see if maybe it's more of the JSN, DK Metcalf show, and then Lockett's sort of the third option there. But I mean, to me, he was the number one wide receiver coming into the draft. I think the landing spot is perfect. Well, not perfect, but Geno is a good quarterback. The only thing that concerns me with Seattle is the fact that, they do like to run the ball, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I think JSN is the pick for me at 1.3.
Absolutely. Like the pick. I think he's pretty much entrenched there in Seattle. Tyler Lockett's not getting any younger, so
Hmm.
I like JSN for the future there to be second fiddle there to DK Metcalf. Great, great,
Yeah.
great choice. All right, I'm gonna go to the 1.3 here. I'm gonna go and this guy has risen because of his landing spot. He's gonna be opposite Jay Jettas over there with the Minnesota Vikings. I'm taking Jordan Addison. I'm expecting this guy to
Wow.
possibly have the same production as George Pickens did last year, close to 800 yards. He may have more. Who knows? Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins could fall in love with him, but like it, like the landing spot. Got him a speedster over there. Take some of the heat off Jay Jettas. For the 1-3, it's a no-brainer for me this year. I'm taking Jordan Addison right here.
All right. Yeah, that's a great pick. I think he sort of a lot of targets out there and for the Vikings. So definitely a good spot. And I think like you said, I think we had him late in our first round in our other mock draft. We really didn't anticipate them getting to draft it, in the first round, possibly. I mean, who knows? But anyways, good pick here. I think next with the 1.5, which ironically is the pick I currently hold in our Dynasty League. Um, Maybe I'm releasing
Careful, release
some
your
secrets, some secrets here, some state secrets. But
Oh
I
gosh.
think at this spot, if if you in my situation, I feel like probably need to move back. I'm really running back needy. I don't think this is a spot for a running back. And I think at this point you got to do the same thing as the NFL guys do, which is get the best player available and then figure it out. So for me, I have to go with Quentin Johnston. I think that him going to the Chargers, and I realize obviously he's going to be behind Palmer, possibly Palmer, definitely Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. I think that with Herbert at quarterback and Keenan Allen maybe kind of sort of on his way out ish, he probably has maybe two more years left,
I would
possibly.
say possibly one. You never
Yeah,
know, man, with the way they.
yeah.
I
I mean,
think
he
I'm gonna
has a
be
lot of
honest.
injuries, so who knows?
Yeah, I'll be honest. The person I think will be out faster than Keenan Allen, obviously, would be the injury-prone Mike Williams. That's
Yeah.
my personal opinion.
I mean, either way, one of them is going to be gone. So I think that
Absolutely.
the draft capital, with being a first round receiver, I think Herbert being his quarterback, he could easily go at the 1.4. I think for me, they're interchangeable. The only thing is that you're obviously getting more production right away from Addison than you are possibly getting from Johnston. Um, but yeah, I wanted to get running back, but I think we'll see what happens later in the draft. But I think the way the running backs landed, I don't know if this is the right spot for a running back. So I'm going with the
Yeah,
best player available.
good choice.
And again, we didn't mention this before, but it is a one QB league. So obviously, if it was a two QB league, we would be, probably some quarterbacks would be at the beginning here. But anyways, yeah, Johnson 1.5.
All right, guys. Well, there is, to me, there's a six-headed monster in this draft. This draft's not super deep in the first round for me, like uberly talented wise. A lot of people may say, "Hey, hold on, Byron, didn't you know this is the 2023 NFL, rookie class?" Yeah, and I really think it's overly hyped. I'm sorry, guys, but I think we're starting to see that. This class was overly hyped because Bijan Robinson is a generational running back. Do not go crazy and start selling all your picks, next year for the 24 or the 25. Let it chill, let it marinate. Get to the end of the season, then we'll start talking about the number one picks. Obviously, I did not listen to my own advice, but that's for another discussion. Um,
Well,
guys,
you made that in way in the past. So this is the
yeah,
new Byron. This is the new Byron.
absolutely. New age, new age. Okay, guys. So, with that being said, that last person on my six-horse race here would obviously be Zay Flowers. I'm taking. I like Zay Flowers here. Great landing spot there with Lamar Jackson. He could easily come in and outwork Rashad Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is just a super talented wide receiver. I really like that Beckham's there to kind of coach these other two guys, meaning Bateman and Zay Flowers up. You know, you still got your middleman there and Mark Andrews.
Okay.
I like this offense, man. I love what
Yeah.
they did. I like how they went out and they got Zay Flowers here. I think that's going to help bring some of that Marquise Brown ish route tree back to Lamar. So
Yeah.
signed the richest deal for an NFL quarterback, and they're rewarding him with a good wide receiver. So that's my pick here at the 1-6.
No, I think it's a great pick, and I think people need to. I think people will shy away a little bit from Save Flowers because of the landing spot. I totally disagree, and I agree with you. He belongs in the kind of the first pick in the back end of the first round at the 6 overall. And I think I think their passing game, now that we have the whole Lamar Jackson situation figured out, I think we have a new offensive coordinator. I think they're going to be a little more balanced than they have been. And I think Safe Flowers, obviously with OBJ there, definitely benefits from the change in the sort of the offensive tactics with being a little more balanced, hopefully, and OBJ kind of opening things up for Zay Flowers there, and Mark Andrews too, obviously. So I think for me here, I think it's gonna be kind of tough. Uh, You know what? I feel like it might be a little too soon for a tight end, maybe. But I think Dalton Kincaid going to the Bills. I think I heard something about Josh Allen really fighting for them to draft him. So, I mean, if the quarterback's asking people to draft you, that has to be a good sign. So, it may not be too early for him, especially with the offense he's going to. Even though there's a lot of mouths to feed, I like Dalton Kincaid here at the 1.7. Maybe you think it's a little bit of a reach, but I think he's definitely worth a first round pick. It just depends how much you need a tight end. But I really like him here at the 1.7.
Yeah, I agree. I was clapping pretty hard when they drafted him. I am still a believer in Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
The capital that they gave up to get Kincaid, though, obviously, him being attached to Allen, super, super big time tight end.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I agree with this spot. I love him here at the 1-7. Good pick. I was hoping he would slip a little in the real draft, but this, like we said, guys, landing spots they're life changers for these guys sometimes. So,
Yeah.
Kincaid was already a big time hyped prospect, which he is very, very good. They're dubbing him the next, Travis Kelsey. We'll see if that happens. If it does,
Yeah.
awesome. So let's move to the 1-8. I'm going to take our first quarterback off the board. It's easy for me here. I'm taking Bryce Young, the Carolina Panthers, the number 1 pick in the whole entire draft. Love the weapons this guy's coming in with. Obviously there was, tons of wide receivers, 2 pretty good running backs, and he's got a decent tight end. So I like it here. I'm pretty happy to see Bryce Young at the 1-8 there, all the way down. Sometimes quarterbacks come in hot, they like Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence, but he's the top 5 pick. So at the 1-8, I feel like keeping the quarterback, it is a no-brainer for Bryce Young.
All right. So I think that's a good pick. I'm actually surprised that you didn't go with Stroud. I mean, obviously, as a Texans fan, it's not like you're picking, 8 is your pick, but I really thought you may want to go with Stroud as the as the number 1 quarterback just because.
Yeah, I like both of them, man. I'm not gonna be a homer and go too crazy. The Texans, I feel, need to get, I still feel like that number 1 guy at wide receiver is not on the roster. I do like Nico Collins, I do like
Mm-hmm.
Mechie, and I do like the new guy they drafted in Tank Dell. But I feel like they're lacking a superior wide receiver there in that offense, which obviously, maybe next year we might get Marvin Harrison Jr. You never know. So that's my reasoning for taking Bryce Young. He just
Yeah.
has, for me, a little bit better offense.
Yeah. No, no, absolutely. I was just surprised because it's not the Texans quarterback. That's all. I think for me next, might be a little surprised. We kind of, I honestly did not think this would be, this person would be picked as high as they did. So for me, I think Jonathan Mingo went up based on the draft where he went, the draft capital, going to young quarterback. For me, I think, and maybe you think this is a little bit reach, considering who else is there, but I think being picked that high is definitely the draft capital matters. They still don't know what's going on with Marshall. They do have DJ Shark. They have a lot of options. They don't have like a true number one, like elite number one. Um, and Mingo, just as far as the eye test goes, and what he did in the combine and the way he performed, I think, plus the draft capital, I think he definitely kind of elevated his prospects. So for me, you might consider a reach. I don't know, but I like Jonathan Mingo here.
No, it's a little rich for me. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same sense, if you check the stats there with the Ole Miss wide receiver tree, um, could be a sneaky one here, man. With
Yeah.
the way DK, the way that AJ Brown came out and took over the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jonathan Mingo. I actually made a video about him. I think the guy's got a lot of talent. For me though, I'm gonna go take it here to the number 110. I don't. Man, this is a tough decision for me, man. Uh, I'm taking my boy C.J. Stroud. I got to. Now we can talk about him. This is not a reach in my opinion. Actually, if you look at these two quarterbacks going 1 and 2, they got a lot of draft capital. They are going to be both very good in the NFL. I'm not sleeping on C.J. Stroud winning Rookie of the Year. I think that him having Pierce in the backfield takes a lot of pressure off of him. Obviously, he's got Dalton Schultz coming over there for us at tight end. Uber good tight end. I think that was a great deal then picking him up on a 1-year deal. It's going to help C.J. Stroud out a lot. Also, we're talking about the most accurate quarterback in this whole class. So I like him. Hopefully he starts from day one, which I'm predicting he will. Guys, get your quarterbacks while you can because you'll be crying in the second round if you don't. So I like C.J. Stroud here at the 110.
Nice. And I'm not gonna talk too much about this pick, but I think for me here is Anthony Richardson. He is the last of the top quarterbacks that were selected in the first round, and I think his rushing upside is undeniable. I think his new head coach, who was the offensive coordinator of the Eagles last year, he worked with Herbert previously, then with Hurts. I don't know if he'll start from day one, but his rushing upside and his upside in general, not just rushing, his upside in general is, out of this world. So for me is Anthony Richardson as the last of the first round quarterbacks in this mock draft and in the real NFL. So
awesome, like that pick. I think he brings a lot to the table for fantasy points with the rushing yards there, and obviously dude's just super athletic. So like to see him get going there. Well, I don't like to see him get going there, Colts, but good on you. Great landing spot, Colts. Good job on getting your quarterback of the future. I'm going to end this mock draft here at the 112 with, I don't think it's a surprise. I'm going to take the Iowa tight end, Sam Laporta. Comes in, very, very good pick for them. For me, dude went skyrocketed up with this pick. And this is a prime example of landing spots, guys. Sam Laporta, gets you that Iowa tight end, Kittle. We got Hawkinson, Noah Fant. All these guys come in and produce in the NFL. Tight ends are very hard to find, and this one's staring you right here in the face. Went to a super good offense there in the Lions. Jamison Williams is going to be out for the first 6 games. I feel like this guy comes in and starts getting some targets pretty quick. I like him. You obviously try to tell me about this guy before all these drafts even started. So good on you, Manny. I'm glad that you knew what you were looking at there, because I was kind of lost about the tight end besides, Dalton Kincaid. Everyone was high on Washington. Now here we see who really rose to the cream rises to the top here, guys. So with that being said, hope you guys liked our post-draft NFL first round 12-team mock draft. You guys get after it. Hopefully these guys land in the spots you need them to. As always, like and subscribe. Guys, stay with us, man. We're trying to pump out as much content as we can. With that being said, Manny, you got anything else?
No, man, I'm really happy with these selections, and I think obviously, as we can tell, the draft definitely changed our opinion of these guys. I think our first round mock draft that we did before the draft definitely looks a lot different than here. So, yeah, that's all I got.
All right, guys. Hey, as always, Dynasty Football.